Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're going to completely demystify a concept that sounds, well, incredibly intimidating, but is actually a secret weapon for your storytelling. We're talking about the past perfect tense. Now, I know a word like perfect in grammar usually makes people want to run for the hills, but trust me on this. By the end of this explainer, you'll realize it's really just a time-traveling tool for your sentences.
Okay, let's dive into this. Picture this. You're telling a story to a friend. You're describing yesterday, and you need to talk about two entirely separate things that happened. How do we avoid timeline confusion? I mean, how does the listener know which of those past events occurred before the other one, without you having to just awkwardly say, and then, or before that, or prior to that, over and over again? Well, that is exactly the problem this tense solves.
So if you look in a textbook, you'll see a definition like this. The past perfect tense is formed by taking the word had and adding the past participle. Words like eaten, walked, or finished. But honestly, memorizing that had plus past participle formula is the easy part. The real secret to mastering fluency here is understanding its actual function. It's a time sequencing tool. It basically acts as a little flag that tells your listener, hey, we're stepping even further back in time right now.
To really see this, imagine a mental timeline. Let's say right now is the present day. Yesterday at 5 p.m., a meeting started. But an hour before that, at 4 p.m., she finished her report. Action 1 is finishing the report. Action 2 is the meeting starting. To put them together logically, we use our time-traveling tool for that first action. She had finished her report before the meeting started. Or to use a classic beginner example, I had finished my homework before dinner. It just perfectly visualizes that an action was totally completed before another action in the past.
Now, what's really fascinating here is how one tiny little word can completely change the reality of a situation. Think about the simple past. When we arrived, the concert started. That implies simultaneous actions. You walked through the doors and boom, the band played their first chord. But what if we say, when we arrived, the concert had started? That had changes the whole shebang. It tells us the concert began earlier. You totally missed the first song.
Just to really lock this in, let's do a quick comparison. The simple past is just a completed action. She finished her report yesterday. The present perfect connects the past to right now. She has finished. But the past perfect is strictly about an earlier action happening before another past action. She had finished her report before the meeting. It's absolutely not about trying to make your English sound more complex. It's simply about the sequence of events.
So the absolutely crucial point here is that we shouldn't use it just to sound formal. There are a few really common traps people fall into. First, you cannot use it for a single past action. Saying I had visited Rome last year is incorrect because there's no second past action to compare it to. You also shouldn't overuse it if you're just telling a natural chronological story. And finally, you really want to pay attention to signal words like already or by the time. Those are massive hints that the past perfect is knocking on the door.
And here's what I mean when I say natural chronological stories. Take a 1, 2, 3 sequence, like I woke up, ate breakfast, and left the house. The simple past is perfectly fine there. No need to complicate it at all. But watch what happens when that sequence is disrupted. I left the house, but I realized I had forgotten my keys. The forgetting happened before the leaving. Right there, the past perfect acts as the hero to rescue our timeline and make everything crystal clear.
And this brilliantly illustrates how native speakers use this tense to actually build narrative tension. Hannah went into the kitchen and was devastated to find that someone had eaten all the pie. We're experiencing the story right through Hannah's eyes. First, she goes in. Then, we step backward in time to reveal the absolute tragedy. The pie had been eaten. It establishes the exact order of discovery perfectly. All right, enough theory. It's time to put this into practice. Let's play a quick timeline game to test your knowledge. I'm going to show you a sentence with a missing verb. You tell me which action happened first and what the verb should be. You ready?
Okay, here's your first scenario. Read it carefully. When Tom arrived home, Bill blank all the cake. Take a second. Which happened first? Tom's arrival or Bill's snacking?
Well, if you guessed had eaten, you are absolutely correct. Great job. Bill eating the cake was action 1. It happened completely before Tom even walked through the door. So, when Tom arrived home, Bill had eaten all the cake.
Let's try another one. The film blank already start when we finally got to the cinema. Lock in your mental answer for this one. Think about the sequence and look out for that sneaky little signal word right in the middle.
Let's see how this builds on what we've learned. The correct answer is had already started.
The film had already started when we finally got to the cinema. That word already is a huge signal word for the past perfect. It practically shouts at you, hey, this action is already finished. Okay, I've got one final challenge for you. We have two separate sentences. Susan finished reading her book, and she switched on the TV. How do we join them using our time-traveling tool, starting with the word when?
And the answer is, when Susan had finished reading her book, she switched on the TV. Listen to how that sounds. Had finished. You really want to emphasize that had and the past participle when you speak, so your listener immediately grasps the order of events. Action 1 complete, moving right on to Action 2.
So, to wrap up our explainer today, I really want to leave you with a question to ponder. Think about your own day today. What earlier past action influenced a later one? Maybe it's something simple like, I wasn't hungry at lunch because I had eaten a huge breakfast. I highly encourage you to start trying to spot these past perfect sequences in your own life, and definitely use them in your own storytelling. It truly is the secret to mastering the English timeline. Thanks for learning with me today.